Good afternoon, everyone. I, Bhushan Pawar, welcome you all on behalf of Shahan Anchor Kutch Engineering College, Mumbai, India. We at Sakek Research Cell would take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you present here today for this hybrid webinar series, Innovative and Emerging Technology in the Field of Research, in collaboration with all our partners. Today I am addressing you to the webinar on technical writing with latex. The speaker for the webinar is Dr. Manimala Mahato. Dr. Manimala ma'am is an assistant professor at SAKE. She has a 14 years of teaching experience. She had done her PhD from IIT Bombay in 2019. She has completed computer engineering from West Bengal University Technology ME from in a computer engineering from VJTI Mumbai. She is a number of research publication in IEEE Transaction Journal and reputed international conferences to her credit. She is a reviewer of IEEE Transaction Journal and international conference. Her area of expertise are machine learning, optimization, image processing. So before handling to our speaker, I would like to make a note to all my attendees that if you have any queries or you want to ask any question to our speaker throughout the session, you can ask it via question answer chat box. Most frequently asked question will be answered at the end of the talk. So now I request our speaker to share the content with our all attendees. Ma'am, can you hear? Hello, ma'am. Can you unmute? Can't hear.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Okay. Um, Thank you for the kind introduction. Uh, should I start? I'll share the screen. Okay. Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to talk on technical writing with LaTeX. So, as an outline, first we will see what all the difficulty we are facing generally in technical writing. Then how this LaTeX can help us to overcome the difficulty, and some basics of LaTeX, how to include the mathematical equation, figures and tables, as well as the bibliography. Then we'll see the some key references. Now in technical writing, it is the means of communication to all the readers. The people who are associated with the academic in their career, they have to write some technical report or technical research paper, something like that. As for example, the UG students or PG students, they have to write their project report. PhD students, they have to write their thesis as well as some research papers. So in that entire process of this technical writing, one problem is that is the time management. We have to write all the reports and everything in a within the deadline. Now within the deadline, we have to decide the content of that paper or the report, as well as how to present that. That is the formatting, okay, or the typesetting, we can say. Now, if we are considering any research paper as an academician, we have to publish our research in a journal or in any reputed conference. And in that case, there is a question that whether the paper will get accepted or it will get rejected. Some good journal, they are having hardly 10 to 15% acceptance rate. So most of the paper, maximum paper, they reject. But why this rejection is there? It is because there are multiple reasons behind that. One reason is that is the poor formatting or the poor typesetting. At the beginning, whenever we are submitting any paper, research paper to any journal or the conference, the first level editor will go through the paper, and editor will check whether it is matching the scope of that conference or the journal or not, and whether the formatting or the template the author has followed that or not. So if it is not followed, then there only editor will reject that paper. So whatever research we are doing, maybe the very novel research, and we are putting that content in the paper, but the reviewer will not get the chance to read that paper. Okay, before that only the paper got rejected. And we have to do all these things in a timely fashion. Okay, so a research document submitted for the highest degree should be perfect in all respect. And before submitting the paper or the report, multiple revisions and modifications it is required. It has to go multiple rounds of revision and modification. And the thing is, one small revision in the content, it forces to modify table of contents, list of figures, tables, references to figures, tables, as well as the citation, reference, everywhere that it will make the changes. So to make the changes in the entire report again and again, it will be very tedious work. And it is a great headache only. At the end, it happens whenever we are writing a report for maybe 250 pages or 300 pages. To maintain that report or to make a small change in any figure or the name of the figure, title of the figure or the title of the table, it will make change. It will force to make change in the entire report. So it becomes very difficult to manage that. So to overcome this difficulty, we some solution we need to find out. So today I will introduce yourself a better or structured or more formatted way how to communicate your research irrespective of any topic or any field without breaking your head much on the formatting. So before going into detail of all this LaTeX and all, just I want to share one story that the Thirsty Crow, this story already we know from the childhood. The crow in the left is investing time and energy for searching the water as well as for drinking the water by putting the pebbles into the jar. And putting the pebbles into the jar, again it is very much time consuming. Whereas the crow in the right, he has learned how to drink the water using the straw, maybe from the human being, and he is investing time and energy only to search the water, not to drink the water. So whenever he found the water, he can easily drink the water. So this story teaches us that we should work. We have to do the hard work definitely, but we have to do the hard work for searching the water, or we should concentrate on the content of the report of the paper, what we should write, the novelty of that research. We should concentrate on that. We should not break our head on the formatting or how to drink the water. For that, a small thing that the crow has done, that he has learned how to drink the water using the straw. So similarly, we can do also some smart work, how to write the paper or the formatting, how it can be done very efficiently or in the structured way, methodically. So we have to be smart. So for that, we need to learn LaTeX. LaTeX, it is purely a document typesetting system. It is pronounced either LaTeX or LaTeX. It produces high quality technical or scientific document. Any type of document, it can be article, it can be books, thesis, or any technical reports or any technical papers, anything. The most important part is that LaTeX is platform independent. So you can work on Windows as well as you can work on Linux, Mac OS, etc. So now we can concentrate purely on typing the contents of the document. So the novelty of the document, the novelty of the content, not on the formatting. Formatting will be taken care purely by the LaTeX, and LaTeX is free of cost. We'll see some features of LaTeX. Why it is so much advantageous? First one is LaTeX is designed by some mathematicians for producing beautifully typeset output. It does an exceptional job at handling visual components like font, spacing, and line breaks, etc. So using this, we can write journal articles, technical reports, books, and slide presentation, etc. LaTeX forces the author to organize the document in a logical way, which is more clearer and more coherent. That is the structured files. LaTeX provides us that we can write the document such a way that one main file will be there. In that first we'll write all the chapters separately, and in the main document we can include all the chapters. So whenever we need to modify any chapter, other chapters will not get disturbed at all. That is the structured files. LaTeX provides us this facility. It provides for the typesetting of complex mathematical formula. We'll see that how much complex mathematical formula very easily we can write using LaTeX. LaTeX elegantly handles numbering and internal referencing within a document, as well as it handles BibTeX. It handles the bibliography, citations using BibTeX. It is very easy. We'll see how to do that. LaTeX provides packages for all its features. So whenever we are using any feature, we have to include that particular package. Now all these packages are customizable. That means by default some packages are available already. The standard of that package, it is very high. But if any case we need some more features, as the packages are customizable, we can modify the package as per our own requirement. It is very much user friendly, and always LaTeX provides the output in PDF or HTML, which easily it can be shared with others. Now, as we are introducing LaTeX here, but we are very much familiar with MS Word for a long time, then why we don't use MS Word, Microsoft Word? Why we are switching for LaTeX? For that, some comparison it is there. If we consider the area, that is the speed in writing small documents, obviously Microsoft Word it is faster, because as soon as we write something, immediately we can see how it is looking, immediately it is visible. But for LaTeX it is not like that. We have to write the document, we have to compile, then only we can see the PDF generated by LaTeX. So two steps are there, so it is little bit slower than Microsoft Word. But if we are going for the big documents with lot of graphics and tables, etc., Microsoft Word is slower compared to the LaTeX. LaTeX is faster, as entire typesetting it happens at the end. So it saves time. Microsoft Word is very easy to use for the simple document, but it is very time consuming to use if we want to use the advanced features, that is automatic numbering, links, automatic citation, automatic generation of table of contents, list of figures, list of tables. In that case, Microsoft Word, it is not at all very easy to use. But LaTeX, everything, all this table of content generation, list of figures, list of tables, LaTeX automatically it does for us. Layout quality, Microsoft Word, whatever output quality, output layout it provides, it is acceptable, but it is far from the professional. Good quality is not at all reachable for the by the average learning. So to produce the very good quality or the professional quality using Microsoft Word, we have to learn a lot in Microsoft Word. But for LaTeX, it provides the professional layout. By default, it is the standard it is providing, it is very much high. Scientific features, Microsoft Word doesn't include a citation utility. For that, we have to purchase additional software for the citation purpose. And again, we have to pay for that. Bibliography program comes with their own price. And obviously we have to learn also again to use that. And in case of LaTeX, it is free of charge and it is uh, easily available open source. So the BibTeX references are handled by the BibTeX and the database front end. It is again freely available. It is already there with LaTeX. Price plus availability, we have to pay for Word and we have to pay for referencing software. As already I have mentioned that LaTeX is free of charge. Compatibility, yes, Microsoft Word is having the compatibility issue between the different flavors of Word, but LaTeX is not having any compatibility issue because the output it is generating, that is PDF only, and which is same for all the operating system. So as a summary of the previous discussions, this graph can be represented, that is in the x-axis we can say that is the document complexity and size, and y-axis it is effort and time consumption. So from the graph we can say that to produce the initial document, it is very easy to write using Microsoft Word. But for LaTeX, it takes some time. For LaTeX, the initial learning curve is quite steep. But later on, as the document complexity increases and the size of the document increases, whenever we are going to write 200 or 250, 300 pages report, that time the LaTeX, it will take less time. Effort and time consumption will be less for LaTeX, but for MS Word, it will be very high. Very high. So, as a moral of the story, we are going for the LaTeX, not for the Word. How to install the LaTeX? There are many editors available for LaTeX. We have to install MikTeX and as well as one editor. I have used actually with MikTeX. It is used for Windows. The URL is given. From this URL we can download and easily it is installable. And with that, one editor you have to install. So I have used Text Studio only from the URL given here. And it is very much comfortable, this editor, and it is easy to use also, user friendly. You can try the online editor from overleaf.com also. After installing both this MikTeX and the editor Text Studio, when we open the Text Studio, it will look like this. The layout will be look like this. Here we can see there are 4 windows. The left window, middle 2 windows are there, and this is the right window. It is actually the LaTeX document of my thesis only. So in the left, what all the chapters are there, we can see. The main file, it is written as thesis_mm. Okay, so under that, all the chapters are there like abstract, introduction, review of literature, methodologies, conclusion, courses done, acknowledgement, different chapter I have written. Now all the chapter, it is included in the main file. Now in the middle window, we can see there are top window and bottom window. Top window is the writing space where we can write it, where we can write the document, and in the bottom space, it is the space where LaTeX will show some messages or log. That means when we compile the document, if any error is there, anything, any message, so it will display in the bottom window. And in the right window, after compilation, immediately we can see the PDF generated by LaTeX. So how it is looking, we can see, and accordingly if we want to modify, we can modify in the document or in the code in the middle window. These are very user friendly. As we can see in the left side, so many small symbols are there. These are used for writing the document. All the mathematical symbols to write the equation, it is there. And in the top also, so many options are there. So as we explore the software, we'll get much from here. Now we'll go look into that, how to write the document and what we'll write. that we have to do. Basically, just like the program, we have to write some code, some commands are there for LaTeX. We have to follow that command, and using that LaTeX command, it is very easy to write any document. The first thing is LaTeX. Any input for LaTeX, it is a plain text file, that is the .tex. We have to write the document, we have to save it using the extension .tex. LaTeX will, this .tx file, it will contain the document what we want to write and all the LaTeX commands. LaTeX compiler will compile this .tx file and it will generate .pdf file. That is the final output. Now all the LaTeX commands we have to write using the following structure, that is slash, backslash, command name, and within the curly bracket we have to write all the options. We can see the basic example document. First, we have to mention the document class. So whether it is article, whether it is book, whether it is paper, anything. So by default, I have used in this presentation, by default, I have used article only for all the examples. We have to mention the document class. Next is the begin document and end document. Entire document we have to write within this begin document and end document. That is the environment we have to mention, and within this environment we have to write whatever we want to write. So I have written here hello world. So in the right side we can see in the output in PDF the hello world, it is printed. Next we want to add some title of this document. For that, title, date, author, few commands are already it is available. Backslash title, my first document, slash date, slash author, we can mention here. But where to display in the entire document, where to display the title, for that another command we have to mention, that is the slash make title. After that, hello world, and in the output we can see, as we have mentioned in the document, similar output we are getting in the PDF. My first document, then name, then date, and then the content, that is the hello world, it has been started. As we are writing more and more in the document, we have to structure the document, the content, into logical units like section, subsection, paragraph. We have to divide the entire content. So LaTeX is offering some commands to automatically giving the name, automatically giving the number of each section. Now to mention the section, we have to use the command slash section, section 1. We can see in the example given in the left side, document with section, section 1 subsection is there and one more section is there. So under section 1, one more subsection is there. Now if we go to the output in PDF, we can see that in this section 1 hello world is written. Under that one subsection is there. Under this 1.1 subsection it is written structuring a document is easy. Then the second section it has been started. Now one thing I would like to mention here, the number 1, 1.1 and the 2 to each section or subsection I have not mentioned in the document. LaTeX has done this one for me. Okay, so if I add one more section, it will be number 3, section 3. And as we want to add more subsections under one section, it will be 1.1 or 2.1, 2.2, 2.3. Automatically it will take. Or under 2.2, if I add one more subsection, it will be 2.2.1 this way. So for me, no need to take care that how many sections I have written, how many subsections I have written in the document. This numbering, LaTeX will take care. Just I have to put the content. I have to divide the content into logical unit, section, subsection, and I have to put it. Now, as we are going on writing, after sectioning of the document, we may need to add some figures or mathematical equations in the document. So for that, different packages are available. As already I have mentioned that for different features, different packages are available. To use that feature, we need to add this package in our document. So how to add this? For that, one command is available, that is /use package command. It is used to enhance the capability of LaTeX. And this use package command we have to mention in the preamble. Preamble is the portion before this begin document starts. We have to mention this use package command there. So within the options, within the curly bracket, we can write the package name as per our requirement, that is AMS Math or graphics or multi-row, color, etc. As for example, AMS Math, this package it is used for mathematical operator or any equation. If we want to write, we have to add this AMS Math package. If we want to add any figure or graph or any table, for that we have to include use package graphics. Now there are some special characters we can see LaTeX is using, that is dollar, then hash, ampersand, curly bracket, all these are some special characters. But if we have to use these special characters within our document, we have to use it using the backslash. As for example, $, or %, like that. Now white space characters are treated uniformly as space by LaTeX. Now while typing, if by mistake within two words, if we leave multiple blank spaces, in case of word it will be multiple blank spaces, but in case of LaTeX it will all the extra spaces it will be removed, only one blank space it will be kept. So this formatting LaTeX is doing automatically. An empty line between two lines of text defines the end of a paragraph. So no need to do any extra activity to mention that this is the end of the paragraph. Just we have to put one empty line between two lines of text. Now the time to insert an image into the document. How to do that? For inserting an image, first thing is the image we have to save either in PDF, PNG, JPEG or GIF files. And we have to save this image in a particular folder. And for that, figure environment we have to use to insert an image, and the package graphics package we have to use. So within the begin document, end document environment, we have to mention begin figure and end figure. So to insert an image, whatever code we need to write, we have to write within this begin figure and end figure environment. Here we are trying to insert an image. The name of the image is 3D reconstruction. Now how to include the image, that we will see step by step. First is we have to mention the position of the image on the page where the image will be displayed. H is the placement specifier. For that different options are there. H is the put the figure here, or we can opt for top of the page or bottom of the page if we want to display the figure in the separate page. For that also different options are there, H, T, B or P. We can mention here, and accordingly LaTeX will display the figure in the PDF document. After that, we want to place the figure horizontally in the middle or in the center. For that, /centering command is there. Next is we have to include the image. So for that, /include graphics command is there, that actually puts the image in your document. Now within that, some parameters we have to give. We have to mention the size of the image. Size of the image we are mentioning here the width. Text width, automatically it is taking some text width. So I want to display the image 90% of that text width. So that's why I have written width equal to 0.9 / text width. If we want to display the image 50% of the text width, I will write 0.5 / text width. Or if I want to display the image, the size of the image, it will be same as the text width. Then I will write width equal to slash text width. That's it. There are different other options also. It can be given in centimeter. The size can be given in centimeter, or else we can mention the scale also. Scale equal to 0.5, which means the image will be displayed by reducing by half. Next, mention the path where we have saved the image 3D reconstruction. Here what I did that in a folder where all the LaTeX documents are there, LaTeX file, whenever we are compiling any LaTeX file, LaTeX generates so many other files, auxiliary files. So all the files will be in a single folder. Now what I did within that folder, only one more folder I have created named figures. Within this figures folder I have saved all the images. So that's why the entire path I have given, that is figures slash 3D reconstruction. If I save the image within the same folder where the LaTeX code is there, so no need to mention the entire path, only the image name is enough. After displaying the image, we have to give the caption of that image. So for that command is that slash caption. LaTeX will add the figure number automatically, and if we use list of figures to create a table of figures, the list of figure, this figure, it will be listed in this list of figures. And finally, we have to give one label. Why this label is required? Because whenever we are displaying one image in the technical document, within the text, we have to mention, we have to refer that figure somewhere in the text. So figure number 1.1 or 1.2, like that. Here, just like this, I have mentioned figure this depicts the block diagram of a general system of 3D information extraction from stereo images, which is known as stereo vision system. This is part of my thesis actually, I have taken from there. So here in this text, I have referred the image. So how I have referred? First thing is I have given the label fig colon 3D underscore reconstruction. So fig colon 3D underscore reconstruction, this is the name of the figure. Now while referring the figure, I have to give the command slash ref, then name of the figure. Okay, and for to include the figure, we have to use the package graphics. Now we'll see how the output it will look. Now in the output, this figure, it is being displayed in the PDF document, and here we can see the caption, but we have mentioned in the code same caption it is displayed, that is block diagram of 3D information extraction from stereo images. But this figure 1.1, this number LaTeX has given, not me. So how many figures I have displayed in the document, which figure is in which chapter, no need to take care of that. LaTeX will take care. Why the name here LaTeX has given the name 1.1? Because this image, it is displayed in chapter 1 and it is the first figure in chapter 1. That's why the name is 1.1. If it is the fifth figure displayed in chapter 1, it will be 1.5. The name will be 1.5. So if we move one image from one chapter to another chapter, or if we add a new image in between, automatically the figure number, it will get changed. LaTeX will do on behalf of us. And the same thing, same changes, it will be reflected in the list of figures automatically. And in list of figures, we can see that the page number also it is mentioned. It is displayed in page number 4. So if we add more contents in the document and the figure which was displayed in page number 4, now it is displaying in page number 6. So the page number, it should get changed in the list of figure. LaTeX will do that on behalf of us. The page number, instead of 4, it will be changed to 6. So all this headache LaTeX will bear, not us. Now the example what we have seen, we have displayed only one figure. Now we want to display multiple images. How to do that? Three images we are displaying side by side. For that what we have to do, the entire image it will be considered a single image or single figure. Within this figure environment we have to mention. Now one figure A, B, C, they are sub figures. So in the code we have to do, within this begin figure and end figure, one figure environment we have to mention three sub figures. Now for each sub figure the format it is same, that is we have to mention the size of the sub figure, we have to include, we have to give the path of that sub figure, we have to give the caption, label and end sub figure. Then again the second sub figure, then again the third sub figure we have to write. So this way multiple sub figures we can write within the same figure environment. But only the thing is we have to take care that the size of each subfigure. As I have displayed here three subfigures, the entire text width or the entire space to be displayed, we have divided into three parts. 1, 2 and 3, and each subpart we have displayed one subfigure. So similarly in the subfigure, if we see that begin subfigure 0.3 slash text width, we have mentioned the size here, that is the 1/3 of the entire text width. Within the 1/3 of the entire text width we have to display each subfigure. So this thing we have to take care that whether there are enough space to display all the subfigures. Whatever we are mentioning, it should match in the document. Now the next part is we have to list, we have to use the list. So many times we are listing different features, different characteristics like that in the document. Sometimes it should be unordered list using bullets, or sometimes it will be ordered list using numbers 1, 2, 3 like that. It is very easy to mention how to do that. The code we can see the environment. See, every time whenever we are using any feature in LaTeX, we have to mention that particular environment. Here for unordered list, we have to maintain the environment that is itemized. For ordered list, we have to mention the environment that is the enumerate. So within this itemized, we are mentioning slash item 1, 2, 3. So whenever we are mentioning this itemized, it will be the bullet one, that is unordered list. But same thing, if we write within this enumerate, it will be the ordered list 1, 2, 3. And it is very easy to add a new item, or it is very easy to remove the other item. As for example, from the ordered list, if we remove slash item 2, what will happen? Nothing will happen. That means within 1, it will be 1, next 2, it will be 3. Because 2 I have removed. So the numbering automatically it will get changed. LaTeX will do that. So it is the time for a quiz. The input code is written in the left panel. You can go through. It is the one example of list only, as I have used enumerate. What will be the output, A or B? You have to choose. You can answer using the chat box. I'll wait for a minute and again I'll continue. You can take help of the previous example, what I have given, the example of list. Using that, you can answer. Should I continue? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So next we are coming to the part of mathematical equations. Mathematical equation, whenever we are writing in the document, sometimes we are writing within the text or sometimes we are writing separately using equation number. Okay. So for that in LaTeX two modes are there, inline mode and display mode. Using the inline mode we can write the formula that are part of the text. Using the display mode we can write the equation or the formula on a different line. So for that different delimiters we have to use. For inline mode we are using dollar. We can see dollar $a equal to b plus c and dollar. So start dollar, end dollar. One thing we have to remember that whenever any delimiter or any environment we are starting, that is the slash begin as well as there will be one slash end. We have to take care that starting and ending. And in the display mode, whenever we want to display any equation using a number, we have to write the equation within this begin equation and end equation environment. And for mathematical equation, as already I have mentioned that we have to include the package AMS Math before the begin document command. Now we'll write some equations. One equation, very simple equation, I of xy equal to I of x plus u comma y plus b, and this is the output. The equation number it is 2.8. Okay, now how to write this equation using LaTeX? As I have mentioned that we have to write the equation within the equation environment, that is slash begin equation and slash end equation. So we'll write this way. It is very simple, very easy. But this one only will give the output mentioned above with the equation number that is 2.8. How it has come that equation number it is 2.8? That LaTeX will take care, because this equation it is displayed or it is mentioned in chapter 2, 8th equation. That's why the number is like 2.8. So if I change the position of the equation from chapter 2 to, if I shift this equation to chapter 3, fifth equation, automatically the number will be 3.5. For that, nothing I have to do. What only the thing I have to do, I have to see the flow where the equation will fit and I have to shift accordingly. So remaining changes it will be done automatically. Actually at the end, whenever when we complete writing our thesis or any report we are giving to the guide for the revision, guide tells so many revisions, so many things, all the chapters here and there. Sometimes guide says you combine these two chapters, you break this chapter into two, like that. Different comments they say, and that time to do all the modifications, just we have to take care of the content. Remaining formatting, page number, equation number, figure number, table number, where we are referring it from the text, everything LaTeX will take care, all the headache. That is the biggest advantage. Okay, here after mentioning the equation, again we have to give the label, because we have to refer from the text the equation. In the text, in my thesis, I have mentioned that it is therefore proposed to perform the computation from the original nonlinear equation class RAF EQ colon 4.1. I have given the name of this equation, that equation EQ 4.1. Why this EQ? This is my convention. And if you can remember in figure, I have given the label that FIG fig colon then some figure name. Here I have written EQ colon then some figure number, just to distinguish between that, between the labels, whether it is for equation, whether it is for figure, whether it is for table. It is my convention I have followed for my comfortability. But any name you can use. Okay. Now one more thing I would like to mention, that initially I have written this equation in 4th chapter. That's why for my convention I have given the name 4.1. But finally, this equation has shifted to second chapter, and eighth equation, that is 2.8. But I have not changed the label, I have not changed the reference. It is again 4.1, but the output it is giving the correct one. So the PDF we can see that in Brock's 2005, that is a citation I have given. I will explain this citation how to give and what to give. The text it is written, it is therefore proposed to perform the computation from the original nonlinear equation 2.8. So the output PDF it is generating exactly correct one. Now a bit more complex equation. Here some subscript and superscript we are using. Whenever we are using any subscript, we have to use underscore. So I underscore x, then u as usual plus I underscore y b equal to 0. A complex equation, much complex equation it is. How to write this equation stepwise we will see. In this equation we can see that some Greek letters also we are using, just like lambda, omega, and we have written the equation some another way. Some underbrace we are using, and we have written this data, smoothness. This type of equation to write using Word, Microsoft Word, it is very difficult using this equation environment. But in case of LaTeX, it is very easy to write. Okay. Now, how to write this all the Greek letters? It is very easy to remember. We can see the table mentioned in the right side, all the name alpha, beta, gamma, delta, like that at the end, psi, omega, like that. The symbols are also given, and which command we are using in LaTeX, that is also written here. So if it is alpha, we have to write slash alpha. If it is beta, we have to write slash beta in LaTeX. So it will be just like the English only. Whatever the English or the name we are using, same English or same name we are using for LaTeX also. Only the thing is, whenever we are giving this slash in front of that word, it will become the LaTeX command. So whenever we are giving slash alpha, it will LaTeX knows that we have to display this symbol alpha, the symbol of alpha there. So it is very easy to remember also. No need to memorize or nothing difficult is there. Now at the end, the last one in the table, if we see omega, two signs are there, small omega and big omega. How to write in LaTeX? It is also very simple. In case of small omega, we have to write slash omega. All letters will be small letters. If we want to write big omega, we have to write slash big O, then MEGA, big omega, will be displayed. Now, part by part, stepwise, we'll write this equation, but you just observe that it is very easy to write this much complex equation in LaTeX. As usual, we have to mention the equation within this begin equation, end equation environment. Now there are three parts, E, U, comma, V equal to, that is the left hand side. In the right hand side, three parts are there. First thing is we have to mention the integration. Second is one under brace is there plus lambda, then one under brace is there. That is smoothness. So this red, green and yellow, we have to fill the gap. Okay, now in the integration slash ing, this is the command to write the integration. Okay, now integration, whenever we are writing something in the bottom, we are writing something in the top, that is from to. So in that case, how to write? In the bottom we have to write underscore. What we want to write, we have to mention within the parameter space or the empty braces. Then I think audience can follow my mouse pointer. Just I am following, I am moving the mouse pointer as I am explaining. Okay, now whatever we want to write in the top of the integration sign, we have to use this power sign, this one. Okay, that is the red part. Now in the green part, that is under brace, whatever we want to write within the above the under brace, we have to mention within the first uh, first empty braces, and the second empty brace will be what we want to write in the down. Now we will see this integration. Only the bottom part is mentioned, that is the big omega. So we have written the slash big O, then omega. Then in the second part under brace, this IXU plus IYV square, and in the down we have to write data. Similarly for smoothness also we have written like this way. So just you can observe, it is very easy to write. At the beginning to write one or two equation, you may feel it is difficult, but after that it will be a habit. So it will be very easy to write the equation. As usual, we have to give the label of the equation. Okay. Make this much complex equation also it is possible to write using LaTeX. I have written this. Some exercise, whether you can write this equation. Some hint I am giving, as so many symbols, new symbols are used here. That is theta, square root, sum, cos, and diffract. Theta, it is very easily understandable, used for theta, square root. Sum is for summation, cos, and diffract, it is for the fraction. That is the long fraction, we have to use diffract. Just 1 minute I am waiting here. You try to write this equation on your own, then I will go ahead. Okay, I am continuing here. I hope that
Yes, ma'am.
you have written something. Okay. So begin equation, end equation, then the level we have given. To write this slash theta in the left hand side, and in the right hand side cos inverse we have written. Then the diffract. Now in this diffract, two parameters are there, the first empty brace and second empty brace. Obviously the first empty brace, it is for the parameter what we want to write in the numerator, and what we want to write in the denominator. For that, two braces are there, two empty braces. So we have to do this. So in the denominator and numerator, we have used this summation. For that, slash sum command we are using, and we are using some square root. So for that, slash square root command we are using. So every time it needs two parameters as a summation. The numerator, if we see that slash sum underscore some parameter we have to mention, and power some parameter we have to mention, and that is the third parameter. Why it is like that? Because summation I equal to 1 to n we have to write. So for that we are writing I equal to 1 in the first parameter as a first parameter, n is the second parameter, and in between ti ri we are writing like this way. Okay, so you can check now the entire equation what you have written, whether it is matching with this or not. So if any mistake is there, any difficulty, you can correct. So next, after the mathematical equation, we are going to the tables. We have to inserting how to insert the table. Now we can see in the output in PDF, one table I have mentioned here. We have to draw this table. Again for table, another environment we have to use. We have to use begin table and slash end table. Within that, the entire table values we have to write. So first thing is slash centering. Already I have explained the caption, the label we have to mention as we have mentioned in the figure. For table also similar way we have to mention this. Now we have to draw the table. For that, tabular environment is available. Slash begin tabular and slash end tabular. Slash begin tabular, here we can see that in the argument, three parameters are there, L, C, R. Here actually number of this way with the vertical line we are writing, and actually we are mentioning here how many columns we want in the table. In the output we can see three columns are there, so we have mentioned here three columns, and we want that in the left column the text should be displayed in the left side. In the middle column text should be displayed in the middle, and in the right column the text should be displayed in the right side. So that's way, that similar way I have mentioned here L, C, R. L for left, C for center, R for right. Okay, so next we have to write this value 1, value 2, value 3 and alpha, beta, gamma. So how we have written text slash text BF slash text BF, it is the bold face. We want to write this value 1, value 2, value 3 in bold. So this command we are using. Okay, and all the values, all the data we have to separate using a separator. Here it is ampersand. So value 1 ampersand value 2. So that means value 1 will be in the first column, value 2 will be the second column, value 3 will be the third column. So value of each column we are separating using this ampersand. Now whenever we have to go to the next row, we have to write this double slash. Alpha, beta, gamma, same way we are writing. Here we are writing within this dollar, start dollar and end dollar, within that this slash alpha, because we want the symbol here. That's why slash alpha, and this is the inline mode to display any mathematical equation, as already I have mentioned. Now slash H line, it is the horizontal line. I want to draw one horizontal line, then all the values of the table must be written. So all the values it is written in the right side column top, we can see 1 ampersand, then one value, then ampersand, then A, like this way we are mentioning, and finally 3 rows we have mentioned in the output. So here 3 rows we have written and in tabular in table. So it will display the output in PDF, this kind of table it will generate. Now it is the time for one more quiz related to the table only. If one table with 5 columns is required to create, text must be displayed in the middle of the column. Which one is the correct syntax? A, B, C, D, you can answer. You can choose the option A, B, C or D, and you can answer in the chat box. I'll wait for a moment, then continue.
Yes, ma'am, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Next, we want to add one row in the table. How to do that? Adding a row, just you can see in the right side top table that 4 ampersand 25.12 ampersand D. Only this much I have added in the code, and similarly in the output also one row is added. No need to change anything more. Okay. Now we want to add one column. So for that, the first thing is we have to mention the number of columns in slash begin tabular. So we have mentioned one more column here, and the last column it is value 4. So we have mentioned here this value 4, and we have to add the value of the last column. So sorry, we can see in violet color, that is ampersand 3, ampersand 3, it is added. Only this much changes we have to do in the existing table to add a new column. Okay, here in this code one mistake is there. One more thing, one mistake means one value is missing here. Can the audience can identify that? You can answer in the chat box. One more thing, actually, I have to mention to add column here in this case that I have not mentioned. Audience can answer in the chat box. Okay, I'll continue. Now, sometimes we have to draw the table this way. Output in PDF, we can see two rows we are merging together. So for value 1 it is merged, but for value 2, two different values are there, and for value 3, two different value A and B it is there. How to write that? So as first two rows we have merged for value 1, we can see here it is written in different color, that slash multi row 2 1 2 ampersand, then the value ampersand A. It is written like this way. And the next line, the first value for column 1, it is missing. Directly it is starting with ampersand 1, then 10.1 and B. So it is merging. So we have to use this multi-row command, and for that we have to include the package multi-row. You can explore more on tables. You can use multi-column tables. And one more feature LaTeX is providing, that it can generate tables from .csv files automatically. It is very useful, as sometimes we are handling lot of data which is there in CSV file and we have to process the data something. So automatically it is LaTeX is generating the table from that. Now it is time to mention the nomenclature. What all the nomenclature we are using throughout the entire document. For that, few commands are there. First thing is make nomenclature. Then we can renew the command of this nomenclature by list of symbols, because I want to display all the symbols with the heading list of symbols. Okay. Now how to mention this nomenclature? So for that, one new command /nm, and we have to write with a parameter. Just the example I will show. In this example, it will be very much clear that how I have mentioned /nm $I_L, $I_R $. Okay, so this will be the first parameter. This is the symbol. Now what is the meaning of that symbol? That I have written left image and right image of input stereo image pair respectively. So in the output we can see that the symbol we are mentioning in the first parameter, it is in the displayed left, and the meaning of that symbol, it is displayed in the right. So similar way we can mention each symbol we are using throughout the document using this /nm command, and it will be displayed like this way in the beginning of the document where we want to display. That is list of symbols. In the left column all the symbols it is displayed, and in the right the meaning of all the symbols. Okay. The most interesting part is that all the symbols or all the nm command we are writing, no need to write it together. So whenever any symbol we are using in the document, that time only we can write this /nm. Maybe two nomenclature, two symbols I have used in chapter 2, three symbols I have, new symbols I have used in chapter 3. So in chapter 4, 5 more new symbols I have used. So I have written that way only. In chapter 2, I'll write 2nm command for 2 symbols. In chapter 3, 3nm command for 3 symbols, that way. But LaTeX will display consolidatedly in the beginning all the symbols together. It is very advantageous when we are displaying, when we are writing a document with lot of mathematical equation and lot of mathematical symbols. Now after finishing writing the document, it is the time to display the table of contents. Table of contents, automatically it will get displayed with each chapters, with all chapter name, page number, section, subsection, everything in the output PDF. Only one thing we have to do, that is table of contents. Where we want to display, we have to mention there /table of contents we can see in the left code in the left panel written in different color, that is class table of contents. Only this command I have to mention. It is because where we want to display this table of contents. If I want to, for example, if I want to display the table of contents at the end of the document, I'll write at the end this command slash table of contents. So wherever I will mention this command, the table of content will be displayed there only. Now for that page number, section name, chapter name, everything LaTeX will take care. Whenever any modification we do within the document, table of same modification will get reflected in the table of content automatically. Similar way, we can display the list of figures, list of tables. So whatever figure we have mentioned in the document, whatever tables we have mentioned in the document, everything it can be listed up here. That is slash list of figures slash list of tables. These two commands we have to use. These are very easy to remember also. So whenever any figure number it is getting changed accordingly, here also list of figure means or list of tables means it will get changed. Now coming to the bibliography. So for bibliography, the first thing is we are using BibTeX to create the bibliography. We have to create one .bib file. So within that file, we have to write all the bibliographic information. So what bibliography, as for example, I have mentioned here, this is my paper only. This paper, it is published in IEEE transaction on geoscience and remote sensing. So this here all the information related to the paper it is mentioned. Which journal, which volume, which number, pages, year, publisher, title, author, everything. Okay. So this way all the whatever paper we are referring or whatever paper we want to mention in the references, for all the papers we have to extract the bibliographic information and we have to put this way in the .bib file. Now this .bib file, here I have given the name of that .bib file. It is as test, T-E-S-T. So within the document, two, three commands I have to write to include the bibliography as well as for the citation. So what we have to write slash bibliography within the curly brace test. Test is the name of the .bib file. After that, I have to mention the bibliography style also, which is IEEE transaction style. Then I want to display the bibliography with the heading that references. So I have given renew command bibliography slash references. So in the output we can see that under this references, this reference it is getting displayed. Now as I have mentioned that bibliography style is IEEE transaction IEEE tier, automatically it is taking the format what IEEE transaction follows and in the same format it is displaying. So for me no need to take care of what format they are following or some other journal what format they are following, and for using that all the references I have to modify. No need to that all these things. Just I have to mention the bibliography style, which style I want to use here, and in the text I have to cite the bibliography. For the random citation, the citation I have given embedded in text, and we can see in the output that the paper is mentioned in number 1 and in the text random citation 1 embedded in text it is written. Okay, now for that what we have to do, slash cite, one command is there, Mahathur 2019 dense. Now this name, if we go to the previous slide, here this name is mentioned in this @article Mahathur 2019 dense. This is the name of this paper. Okay, so same name we have to use in this slash cite. So citation and the references is this much easy in LaTeX. Now in any case, if we want to add few more papers in the reference section, And in that case, suppose this paper mentioned already, the numbering it got changed and now it has become number 2. So this paper, my paper, now it is number 2. So in the text also it should be changed. So automatically it will get changed random citation. Then in the square bracket it will be 2 embedded in text. So this citation, wherever I have given the citation in the text, entire document for any paper, whenever the numbering of that particular paper is changed in reference section, immediately all the citation, the number of that citation of that paper, it gets changed automatically. And the thing is, sometimes happens in dot we have mentioned 100, we have mentioned bibliographic information for 100 papers, but not all 100 papers I have done the citation within the document. Then what will happen? In the reference, all 100 papers will be displayed? No. The answer is no. So if I have given the citation within the document only 50 papers, only that many papers the reference will come in the reference section. Remaining 50 will not come. So there is the cross-checking is not required at all in case of LaTeX. Many times I have observed from my experience I am telling, I have observed students what they are doing, so many papers they are mentioning in the reference, but in the citation, all the citation of all the papers, it is not there. It should not be happened. These are very small, not the small thing, but this type of mistake no one should do actually. So whatever citation, whatever papers we are giving the citation for the papers, only that many papers should be mentioned in the references. The other way also, it should not be like that. We have given some citation, suppose citation 11, and that 11th paper it is not there in the reference. It also should not happen. We have to take care this thing while writing any paper or while writing any technical document. So in this case, LaTeX will take care. So we are free from all this headache. So in a nutshell, if we are writing a short letter, a cover page, or a report to the administration, what is the best? Because fancy layout, it is not required, so time can be saved. But in case of master or PhD thesis or any article or a review, if we have to write, we should go for LaTeX only. So LaTeX on big documents, it will be a bit slower at the beginning, but faster at the end. Because the maintenance of the document, maintenance in the sense whenever the guide says the changes or the modifications at the end, revision and revision and revision, that time no need to take care of the numbering, indexing, table of contents, then positioning the figure, naming the figure, references, citation, all this headache will go and LaTeX will take care. We can concentrate on the content only. So it is advisable to use a template of LaTeX and adapt it. Actually, most of the institute, they provide the template or the document class for LaTeX. So if we use that particular document class instead of article in general, so it will be very easy to write that document. So if I share my experience using LaTeX, so for in IIT, they have to write the thesis, they have one document class, IITB thesis. So if we use that document class, then no need to take care of the front page, the symbols and the line spacing, the font we are using, everything it will be automatically. Okay. So and nowadays most of the institute, 90% institute, they are providing this template. Even most of the conference journal, they are providing the template of LaTeX. So just we have to put the content in that template and everything it will be ready. Some references from where I have taken the materials. Just I have mentioned actually lot of materials it is already available in net, so you can go through that and you can explore this. And just I have given the I can say introduction to LaTeX, and my aim was that just to make you interest for LaTeX. Okay, thank you and happy texting. If you want to communicate with me for any query regarding this, my mail ID is also given. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for the very exciting and very informative session. Now it's a time for the question answer session. Ma'am, participant asks
Yes,
how to write subscript and superscript in a LaTeX.
okay, this actually I have mentioned while writing the subscript, I have to write using the underscore. When we want to write anything in the superscript, we have to write using power symbol. One small arrow kind of symbol is there.
Ma'am, second question is
Yeah.
can you answer all the quizzes that you asked during the presentation?
Okay. Definitely. Just let me open the quiz and I will answer. This is the quiz one. I think it is
No,
visible.
ma'am. No, ma'am. Not yet.
Now it is visible. Now it is visible.
No, ma'am. Now it's visible,
So,
ma'am. Yes.
okay.
Visible.
Maybe it takes some time to come.
Yeah.
This is the quiz one. The input code is I tried to write the list. So begin enumerate and end enumerate at the end. So within one list I have mentioned item 1, the main list. Then again slash begin enumerate. That means it is the nested list. Within one list we are using another list. So after 1, the correct option is actually D. So it is a nested list. Within 1, 2, 3, 4, it is used as a second level list. So one more enumerate we are using here for 2, 3, 4. Again 5, 6 I want to mention in the main list. So it is out of the second enumerate. So correct option is B. And one more quiz was there. This is quiz 2. Here the question was if one table with 5 columns is required to create. So we have to mention here in this begin tabular 5 columns we have to mention. In the first A option 4 columns it is mentioned, in the B column 5 columns it is mentioned. We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the C it is mentioned 4 and in the D it is mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 5. So in B and D 5 columns it is mentioned, but it is written that text must be displayed in the middle of the column. So center. So we have to, B is the correct option. We have to mention the position also, that is C for center. That's it. So B is the correct option.
Okay, ma'am. I think it's a wonderful session for all the attendees. So it's a time now for the we'll provide as a certificate as a token of appreciation. So, ma'am, please accept this certificate from research cell.
Yes, yes.
And thank you for joining with us.
Thank you very much.
So,
I'm accepting the certificate. Thank you, the research cell. Thank you, Sakek, and thank you, the coordinators, everyone. Thank you very
thank you,
much
ma'am.
for giving me
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
opportunity. Thank you.
Now,